Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Blue Room. I am your host, So Blue, and I'm joined by my co-host today,
Paco Black.
Hey, Le Soleil.
Welcome, guys. Welcome.
Hey.
Good to be here.
How's everybody doing?
I'm doing good. It's Thursday, so right before Friday. Labor Day is coming up this weekend.
It's Thursday still, in my eyes. Grab your drink.
Eat a drink. Lord, I need one. Fancy glass. Like, what you got?
Honestly, I don't even remember. Something was open in the fridge. It was like, let me just pour whatever.
Thank you guys for joining us on the Blue Room. It has been a few weeks since we have put out an episode, but we are back. We got a lighthearted episode, kind of lighthearted tonight. We're definitely just going to be spilling on some celebrity gossip. A lot of great and not so great things are going on in the celebrity world right now. So we're just going to jump into it with the most watched event of this week, which was Monica versus Brandy. They went live on Versus TV, on Instagram, Apple TV, everything this past Monday, August 31st, and it was lit. Don't y'all agree?
It was a lot of fun. It was actually the first Versus that I watched through and through, believe it or not.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even really like Monica per se, but I am a fan. I'm sorry. I just didn't. I guess I can't say that I don't like her. I just didn't listen to a lot of Monica. I listened to more Brandy. That's my girl.
That's what a lot of people are saying.
Yeah. A little bit of Monica here and there, but definitely grew up on the Brandy. It was playing at my house.
Yeah.
Show? Come on.
Also, I didn't realize these things lasted 3 hours.
They do. It's an event. It's an event, okay?
Yeah, I didn't know what I was in for, and I was just like, goddamn, is this gonna end? It was still really nice to see Brandy and Monica get together, do their whole 20-song set and end with The Boy Is Mine, because that's the shit. Did y'all see that Monica forgot the words?
That's a whole nother conversation in itself, honey. Let's just back it up and let's just give our Black girls their magic moment that there was 1.2 million streams on IG alone just for this live battle. This is the official record-breaking battle so far in Versus history. So that right there, I'm like, yes, all the way. Okay, that was lit, number one, and that's not even counting Apple TV, Facebook, Twitter. That's not counting none of that. That's Instagram alone.
Yeah, counting everything is over 6 million.
Wow.
And that was 1.2 million consistently all night on IG. Now, I did notice when they took their little hiatus, like an hour and in the middle, and they took their little break. I did notice it go down to like 900K. It was like
because everybody was on Instagram posting about it. They're like,
listen, I took a potty break. I went downstairs, got me some juice and a snack. Like I was like, okay, this is intermission. Okay, but as soon as it popped up, 1.2 million was right back once they came back, with at least within like the 5 minutes of them coming back, which is crazy.
Girl magic.
Crazy. So that was awesome. I'm honestly a big fan of both because I just love R&B music. Like I know more R&B songs than I know trap music. Like Paco knows when he rides in the car with me, I am an old soul. So I love all things 80s, 90s, R&B, everything. So I knew all the Monica songs, honestly. I was singing Just One of Them Days. I was singing Commitment. I was with it. Like I was with all the songs. Like, and then Brandy, I love Brandy because Brandy has music that registered with us the most because we grew up in the 90s. We were young. Like even though Monica, technically Brandy's older than Monica. Brandy is 41 years old and Monica's 39.
Wow.
So let's start with that. Yes. And then Monica just makes older music. All the memes, mind you, are hilarious. Like I saw one meme was like Brandy had a 2-parent home and lived in a single family home, and Monica lived in an apartment and shared a bed with her cousin sleeping head to foot. I was like, yo.
I mean, that's definitely the vibes they give you.
My mom
Monica
definitely hood. She hood, yo.
Yes.
She's hood. Like in the early 2000s when we were listening to Brandy and some of her 90s music even, like we were literally sitting up in our room at 12, 13 years old thinking about somebody, or we're sitting there crying because we're like, we have a crush on somebody, and like, have you ever loved somebody so much? Like,
yo, that song might be one of the best songs ever.
Right? Did you not
sitting
shed a
up
tear?
in my room? I'm like, damn, I was sitting up in my room.
Yeah. And let's just soundtracks. I didn't realize till this battle how lit soundtracks were back then. Like, I don't even know if they still make soundtracks now.
They do. Like the last big one's probably for the Black Panther.
I know. I was going to say
all of them. That was probably like the last.
Lion King, I think, had a soundtrack when they did the live action. So you're right. They do still make soundtracks. But I mean the lit.
But I feel like it's pushed like it used to be. Like, you know, anybody home, they got hella soundtracks and albums. You know what I mean? Nowadays,
from the soundtracks, like hits that we are still rocking to.
Yeah.
Like, Sitting Up in My Room was on the Wait and to Exhale soundtrack. For You I Will, that's from the Space Jam soundtrack. All, like, classics. Like, I got my entire life. Me and my daughter was looking at me like I was crazy. Like, she was like, Mommy, who is this? I was like, girl, we dancing. We're turning up. Like,
one of the greatest vocalists ever.
Yes. Like, go to bed, but we turn it up. So that was amazing. I also loved how, I know you guys noticed, Vice President Democratic nominee Kamala Harris surprised us at the beginning of the live. That was pretty dope. She just had some encouraging, words saying like girl power, encouraging us to go out and vote. So I definitely liked that. I was like, okay, Kamala coming through. Kamala.
It was nice, I guess.
She came through. She's our new VP, hopefully. So that was pretty dope. Let's talk about the underlying elephant in the room, though. It's like their interaction with each other, Monica and Brandy. Like,
I instantly felt the shade that Monica was giving off. Did you not?
It was a lot of shade going on. Monica was very stiff. Like, did you notice?
Oh my God.
It's that corset. It was. She was literally like on the edge of her seat like this. Like,
she sat up like a penguin.
Like not moving. And Brandy is literally slouching her chair.
Cool. Because Brandy knew what it was. She knows I'm about to put this dub in the bag. I'm about to relax.
No, but honestly, if I'm honest, Brandy gave me like, oh my God, be my friend. Please love me. Like, she gave off those vibes to me. Like, why are you so desperate to want a relationship here on the stage with her?
Do y'all think Brandy was giving off awkward black girl? Did y'all see those memes?
I did, and I
mean, but isn't she an awkward black girl?
I'm awkward black girl.
I don't think Brandy's awkward, because if you think about her, like, we can only base her off of her acting career. So if you think about Moesha, that's on Netflix right now, like, she wasn't awkward. She was kind of mean.
That's who she is, though.
Like her social media presence, like
social media.
I think she's awkward
to
black
her
girl.
Social media, honestly.
I think she's awkward black girl.
I see that from her social media. Like, she was always a little off the wall with some things, but I mean, I could see it. I'll just say that I could see it.
She's awkward black girl, and Monica is cool black girl. We saw it. Exactly.
Monica like your cousin, you know.
Exactly.
And Brandy just like, man, can I copy off her homework?
Monica intimidates me. Like, I honestly believe she was hit some.
I know she got a gun on her. I know she probably keep a gun in her purse.
She keep that.
She got something in her purse. Something in her purse.
Yeah, she's from the South, so she definitely don't play. But allegedly, we gotta talk about the allegedness of why the tension was so thick. And allegedly, from what I've heard, is that Monica socked Brandy. Okay, so Dallas Austin is a producer in the Atlanta area, and he actually co-produced The Boy Is Mine. So allegedly, Dallas Austin, he did an interview with Vlad TV a few years back, trying to claim that before performance, Monica socked Brandy because she, quote unquote, thought she might say something. Okay, and he went on to say, Monica was very ghetto when it came down to it. If you didn't have gold teeth, she didn't like you. She was really hood in Atlanta. Then he went on to say, before they could even get to the stage, Monica decked her in the face, popped her in the face backstage. This is even before the performance. So everyone's like, how are we going to have a performance that looks like they're not at war with each other? And then he went on to say it worked out because in the song, they're supposed to be at war with each other. So nobody could really tell if she, and he mean Brandy, got punched in the face before the performance. And then later down the line, he says, allegedly, Monica admitted to punch Brandy in 2012 when they were promoting their second duet, It All Belongs to Me.
That's crazy. Because when I was a kid,
Monica hit Brandy.
I believe it.
I believe it. Because when I was a kid, I thought they hated each other. And then they said that they was actually friends. But I'm like, come on now, really?
In the video, though, I just thought it was good acting. Because you could feel the tension in the video. If y'all ever saw the boys' video.
I thought they really hated each other, but then I heard reports that they was cool.
Mekhi Phifer was like the buffer in the video. Like when you saw him smiling on the screen, you're like, oh, it's okay. And then you saw Monica rolling her eyes in the next screen, like, like it was just a whole thing. Like, I don't know. I believe it though too. I believe Monica hit, because that's the only thing that could literally make you, number one, not talk to somebody for that. Like it said about 8 years they hadn't talked to each other. Mm-hmm. So that's a lot of time.
Well, I'd have been talking to her at the performance, like, "What's up with round 2, man? You want to pop niggas before we on stage? Let's go."
And then like they all old with kids, like that's the whole thing. Like they can't be fighting. So the best thing they can do is just not talk to each other, which I totally get.
I'll pop her back.
So I don't know, y'all, but I think the verses was great.
I enjoyed my time at the verses. I think Monica was very intimidating and Brandy was very awkward, and I think Monica did it. She punched.
I think both their outfits were awkward. I think if they wore something totally different, I think if they had this coming to this conversation before the verses, like last Monday, before they actually had to meet each other in person, it would have been a lot more smoother with their interaction.
Right.
And yes, Monica did not know the words to The Boy's Mind.
Like, how you forget that one?
Didn't know the words at all. And
like
then,
that one?
Every other song, Brandy was like, "Sing my song with me, girl, please."
And listen, Brandy was not like, Brandy was like, "Do you want to sing? You don't want to sing? I'm gonna sing." Like, sang the whole time. And Monica's just like, "I did not sign up for this. We're just gonna," and like even the way like Brandy was hyped even when Monica's songs were playing. Brandy was like, the words.
And Monica was just, it's whatever.
Monica, man, maybe she ain't hit her blunt before she got on there. Bumpy. Like, I don't know.
That could have been it, but all I can say is that was literally the best battle ever. First battle, I knew all the words to all the songs.
Yeah, I mean, like, and I'm trying to think, I'm like, damn, like, what's another verses that could match that type of star power? Because I'm like, we had the Erykah Badu versus Jill Scott, and it's like, damn, what could have topped that? Then it was like, okay, Brandy, Monica, all right, that's the same upper echelon. So I'm like, what could be after that? I can't even think.
Did you see the meme for Fantasia versus, or was it Fantasia? Yeah, Fantasia versus Jennifer.
Fantasia versus who?
Jennifer Hudson.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one. But that's a good one, but they still not as high as like Brandy, Monica, Erykah Badu, Jill Scott.
I think
that's a good one. That's still a good one though. But I don't know. Like to beat that one, you're gonna need like Beyonce versus somebody.
Who can Beyonce go up against?
Exactly. Versus who?
I would have said Aaliyah, but she passed. But that would have been her real competition.
They could play her songs.
If we could do another 90s, if we could do another 90s versus, I would love to see Boyz II Men versus New Edition. And I would like for both of them to play Can You Stand the Rain?
Damn.
Yes, like play their New Edition version and Boyz II Men version. Like, I want to see who had the best version. I'm putting that in the air. Someone needs to add versus TV.
Somebody make that happen. I need that.
Man, New Edition don't fuck with each other, man. I don't know.
I know. Just get like 2 of them on there. We don't need.
Or they need to have Jagged Edge versus Drew Hill since they don't fuck with each other.
Yes. Or I was thinking Drew Hill versus Jodeci, but actually, yeah, Drew Hill versus Jagged Edge.
Yeah, Drew Hill versus Jagged Edge because they actually got beef.
Yeah. I'm for the 90s battles.
Yeah, the 90s battle will be fun, and it's good for just the new generation to see that.
Like, if you came out in the 2010s era, you don't got enough music to go into verses. Like, you got to have at least 2 decades worth of music for me to like be like, okay, you qualify. So, but yeah, that was great. So I'm definitely here for whatever new battle's coming up next because that's going to be lit. So on to the not so, I feel like this is the petty part of celebrity gossip that's going on right now. Let's talk about Rick Ross versus Lloyd Banks versus 50 Cent. We just going to verse both of them. Okay. I'm not sure if you guys are hip to what exactly has been going on with these guys, but back in 2015, Rick Ross actually went into like a court case battle with 50 Cent over Rick Ross's In the Club remix. He made a song called Wingstop, promoting his, restaurant chain Wingstop. So they went to court over it. Rick Ross won back in 2015. And since then, they've been in 2 other court battles over this issue. And recently, they went into the 3rd one, and Rick Ross won again. So, number one, do y'all think that was like messed up for Rick Ross to make a promo song off of someone else's hit song?
I think it was crazy because he tried to use 50 Cent, but I mean it was on a mixtape, so I'm like I knew that was gonna fly. Like it wasn't gonna be, if he put it on an album, then 50 got him. But
yeah,
I never think it was petty. It was petty, and of course he won in court. Like Rick Ross is a cop. Like we see the courts protect cops, so of course he's about to win all the court cases. That's Officer Ricky, 50 Cent, Officer Ricky.
50 has no copyright interest in the club. So he has no ownership on the song. It's not his at this point. It belongs to his old label. That's why Rick Ross won and keeps winning this battle, because the song ain't his. So 50 just gotta eat this loss. But he keeps appealing it, and he's gonna continue to lose. He's gonna just throw your money to court. And he lost
against Rick Ross' baby mama in court.
Stop.
He lost like $7 million to her.
Oh my.
Yeah, so of course Rozay gonna pop his shit, but you a cop, Ross.
Yeah, he got connections in upper levels. Because really, if 50 doesn't even have the rights to In the Club, then Rick Ross's battle, if there was one, would be with Sony, right? Instead of 50 Cent. If there was an issue.
Unless 50 does have partly ownership. I don't know his whole, like what the splits are on it, but I just figured just because it was on a mixtape, so it wasn't being sold, that he couldn't like use that. And I feel like that was before streaming got big anyway.
Right.
So it was like you're not making really no money off of it, but you are getting promotion. But if it's not like on an album or something, yeah, you're not about to win that.
50 should just give it up. Okay. Lost. Okay. The song is owned by the old record label. So he lost. But like, go on to how Lloyd Banks got into this, because that's old news.
I feel like Lloyd Banks has absolutely nothing to do with this whole situation. Like, from just looking into this, I'm like, I don't know if he's broke, but he's just like the homeboy on the side who he's 50 Cent's homeboy. I don't even know if they're still homeboys, because it's been years and we don't even see them niggas together like that no more.
I don't think he's cool with any of them. But y'all gotta remember though, Lloyd Banks, he the one who dropped that diss song to Rick Ross though, the Officer Down.
Yeah,
he did.
Yeah, so you know, and I know that stung Ross, man. I know he ain't forget about that shit. He's y'all niggas think it's funny, huh?
I'm just like Lloyd Banks is just guilty by association. I'm just like, Rick Ross, you're really mad at 50. So the fact that you're even bringing Banks into this right now is like, it makes no sense to me. Like, and then the way he went on Instagram Live trying to call out Lloyd Banks. And this is one of the things he said. He said, Banks, you still got some money? Show us what you living like. If you ain't got no money, I'll give you $5,000 for the Banks's name. That might be one of my aliases, Dank Sinatra. Like, what does that have to do with nothing? Like, you won the case. You got your Wingstop, you making your money. Then he goes on to say, I came up with a dope title for Lloyd Banks' next LP or EP, he said, Victim of Circumstance. I don't understand why we're calling this man out on Instagram Live right now. That's some female shit.
He just wants to flex.
Ross need to make a little mixtape called, Officer Lockdown.
Officer Lockdown.
Intake. That's what he needed. Intake. That's what he needed to do. Doing my rounds. His big ass. Yeah, doing my rounds.
Quota. Oh God. I don't know. I just feel like that is some female mess to call someone out on their Instagram live that has absolutely nothing to do with nothing of why you just won. Like, yeah, Banks made that freestyle or whatever about him, but
that was like 10 years ago.
10 years ago, bruh. And you still got Wingstop.
Flex. He just wants to flex.
Yeah, you still got Wingstop. And you'll never be loved in hip hop like 50 Cent was. I'm sorry.
I don't know, because if I'm gonna pick someone to listen to, I'm gonna listen to Rick Ross before I listen to 50 Cent.
Nah.
I always have. Like, I always say Rick Ross.
Because you was hanging with Jay too much.
I like, shout out to Jason.
Yeah, Jay stayed with the Rozay. But let me tell you something. That 50 Cent changed hip hop. 50 Cent changed hip hop.
I be getting,
man, and he stole that from other rappers. That wasn't even his ad lib. He stole all his ad libs.
He made it lit though. Remember when everybody was going around in like 2015, like, to everybody.
And guess what? Everybody was going around and nobody was buying the albums. All right, he was making his money off Wale and Meek Mill. All right,
I listen, whatever. I listen. I love
Lucky Gunplay was around.
I mean, did y'all see that Lloyd responded?
Yeah, Gunplay hard as hell.
Did y'all see that Lloyd respond? He said, "I'll never join the circus, so don't expect it from me. Peace and love."
Go ahead, Lloyd.
Man, Lloyd done wrote like 5 diss songs. I'm telling you, he got like 5 in the top. He just waiting.
Not here for it.
You don't trust Lloyd Banks.
But then
I like it though.
But
Lloyd Banks is like, I'm gonna put it on a track. Okay, if you want to hear from me, I'm gonna put it on some.
And he gonna tuck it
and make some money off of it.
He gonna wait for Rick Ross to drop a song. He gonna drop 5 of them in the next 5 minutes, right after Rick Ross do a song.
Well, Ross happened to be in somebody's Insta comment about Lloyd's response and was just like, question was, are you broke, brother? Like, he still just wants to know, is he rich? Like, do you
well, it's out counting people's pockets, man. Goddamn cops say, take all your money, man. God damn it.
What does it matter how I'm living? Ain't you living? Like, not yours.
Ross insecure as hell.
He just likes to flex. You know what I'm saying? Now he got that skinnier body. He's on that, you know.
He's still big body.
He's still big body, but he's not big body like he was before. So he's feeling that new body. He's feeling that new body, and he just thinks he's gonna come for everybody. And that's one thing. Like, even though Rick Ross is my favorite, I'm Team Rick Ross. Like, come on, bro. Like, take the higher road. Like, you got your Wingstop money, you got your 50 Cent winning from this case money. Like, just have a seat, like, and relax. And
why everybody coming at 50?
Lemon pepper.
T.I. was trying to do a verses on him. Here come his best friend Rick Ross. Like, man, y'all trying to jump 50, man. Y'all want 50 spot.
Ooh, a T.I. and 50 Cent versus. I know more T.I. songs.
I'm still waiting for Usher and Chris Brown, but Chris Brown's a little bitch.
Chris Brown's scared.
Chris Brown's scared. Usher about to have another baby. That's not even on the docket today, but yeah, he's about to have his 3rd child with his new girlfriend.
Move on. Nope, I don't want to do it today. Move on.
So that's probably not happening no time soon. He's about to be in infant land with a newborn baby, so that ain't happening.
All right.
Yeah, hopefully Rick Ross and Lloyd Banks get it together because it's petty. This is little girl talk. So, on to our last topic of the evening, something that's definitely very serious that we have to unfortunately address is domestic violence. One thing that I heard recently in the news was about our girl Masika, who is Fetty Wap's baby mama. I love Fetty, but his baby mama, yeah, she's not.
Oh yeah, they both can get it.
So allegedly, well, not allegedly, she did it. Masika goes and posts an Instagram video promoting a domestic violence charity, but the way that she did this video was so messed up. Like, she pretended like she had just got involved in a domestic violence case, and she actually like put the makeup on, the blood patches, everything, as if she was on the case and like in a situation.
Made a whole video claiming that she was kidnapped and said that in there that they will let her go if you subscribe to her OnlyFans and tip her $100.
Yes. So the way first off, the makeup alone, like I wish we could play the video for the show right now, but her makeup alone looked very realistic. And domestic violence isn't a joke. Like, it's very apparent. There's lots of cases going on right now in court and locally of domestic violence issues. So to even go on your platform where you have so many people looking at you to fake like you, and then the way she said it, like, I was just involved and he's coming after me, and like crying, like it looked semi-serious. Like, if I didn't know, like, while I was watching it that it was fake, I would have thought it was real if I was watching it in real time.
It's traumatizing for people who've actually been through that to see something like that, to see somebody bruised up like that, because they remember what it was like to go through that pain themselves. You know, you have to be sensitive to that type of matter. Like, put up a warning before, you know, if it was supposed to be a promotion. That's how you lead those type of things.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's pretty disgusting to me, man. Like, it's just so much going on, and you really like you decided to do it that way. Like,
her intentions was good. One thing my mom always says is, you were sincere, but you were sincerely wrong, boo-boo. Like, like, I understand you wanting to promote, you know, the domestic violence charity. And even the lady who's the head of the organization, she went on a radio show. I listened to the morning show on 92Q, and she went on there and said, I did not sign off on Masika making this video. I didn't know nothing about it. I didn't ask for it. Like, she totally took it. And my charity does not condone, and we won't accept any pledges or any monies that are given to us on behalf of Masika's video. We're not accepting it. Like, and I was with her. I was for it, because I was just like, bruh, like, there was no need for it. There's so many other ways that you could have promoted their charity. Like,
and if they're not gonna take the money, and if somebody did donate, then where'd the money go?
Ooh, that's
to her. But she claims that she didn't.
Man, that's bullshit. I hope somebody come out and they're like, yo, I donated, I want my money back. I hope somebody come out and is like that. I hope nobody really donated.
I hope so too. Like, once it came out that was a fake, I hope whatever they put on their credit card, they canceled it, because
yeah.
I mean, well, some other celebrities had seen what Masika had done. It was just like, you know, we don't support that, we don't condone that, and they actually made some donations to the charity themselves. Charity. Yeah, so some good did come of what she did, thankfully, but like, unfortunately, she just went about it in the wrong way.
Get her ass out of here.
Yeah, Masika, thumbs down. Like, girl, thumbs down.
And it's crazy because I'm like, she had the domestic violence claims against Young Berg back in like 2014. So I'm like, if you really went through this back then, like, why would you do this?
Why? Like, why would you do this right now? And you know what a real situation's like. So the fact that you're faking it is not cool.
Yeah.
And while we're talking about her, let's switch gears to Tahiri. You guys should be familiar with Tahiri. She was formerly on Love and Hip Hop New York. She's the former, I guess you can say she's the current ex-girlfriend of rapper Joe Budden, and they were on the show together. And you could see on the show, like, they didn't have the best relationship. I don't remember seeing any actual physical violence between the two of them, but I do remember, like, a lot of actual arguments, a lot of actual, you know, just tension between them. And currently, Tahiri is actually on Marriage Boot Camp, Hip Hop Celebrity Stars, that airs on WeTV on Thursdays. And her boyfriend currently is Vado. I don't even know who Vado is. I didn't know Vado existed until this show. So let's start there.
I'm very familiar with Vado.
First off, his name means violence and drugs overdose. What's the O for? It's for something.
It's for something. I never knew that much. I just used to listen to a Slime Flu mixtape series.
Yeah, I know the VAD stands for violence and drugs. So off top, because he said it on the show. I watch the show every week. So I was just like, off top, that's ratchet. On the show, him and Tahiri got into it basically over. Tahiri was a little ratchet, guys. Let me just give the little background story real quick. They were hanging out, like, all the couples were hanging out together. They had a communication exercise where there was a buzzer on their foot or their ankle or something. And so whenever one of the partners did something that the other partner didn't like, they press the buzzer and zap them, and it's supposed to teach them like, hey, you're doing it right now, stop doing that. So Vado was just basically going in with the buzzer. Like he was just on Terry. Mind you, they have a lot of issues with Tahiri talking down to him, treating him like a child, all that kind of background story. So long story short, Tahiri was mouthing off at the mouth, disrespecting Vado, belittling him, and he didn't hit her, but he just grabbed her by the shoulders and pushed her across the room. And of course, security cameras, get off her, stop it. It was a whole scene. And long story short, he had to get out the house. He's still a part of the program, but he had to get out the house. And I think the season finale is in 2 weeks, where they decide if they're going to be together or not. So
that's fake, man. That's why that shit all fake.
So yeah, like she literally just went through this situation, and on the show, on this particular episode to be exact, she even discussed about her issues with Joe Budden, basically saying it was violent, it was a toxic relationship, all those things. And Joe Budden went on his podcast to say, let me start with this young lady's a liar, a cancerous, toxic liar. I'm uncertain why she's lying. I'm not certain if she's misspeaking, if she has false recollections of things. And then he went on to say, we're talking about 24, 25-year-old Joe, 25, 26-year-old you. We were toxic to each other, and I'm glad that the climate has changed and we are able to have some conversations today.
He said, you used to beat my ass. He said, you used to beat my ass.
Yeah, he was saying, yeah, he was like.
No, he literally said that out his mouth.
Yeah, because originally he, on his podcast, he had spoke about the Vado versus Tahiri thing, and he was like, yo, he completely defended her, but he did mention that, but Tahiri is the type to fight men. And he was referring to the point when she had got her nose broken. He didn't do that. But when she was in her little interview, she made it seem like he did that and broke her ribs. He was like, no, I had nothing to do with that. We were actually already broken up. Somebody else hit you in the nose. You called me crying. I went and met you at the hospital to be there for you. I asked you if you wanted us to do anything about this, like who's the guy who hit you? And she said, no, don't worry about it. So I'm like, are we defending domestic violence people? Like, the dude hit you in the nose and you don't want any type of repercussion for it? And then later on, you blame it on Joe? And Joe was like, look, I was at the hospital. We got the records and everything. Like, he don't know why she would do this. And it's funny because after their initial Love and Hip Hop run, and then, some time went by, they wanted them to both come back. Joe only came back because he was like, as long as Tahiri's not there, I will come on there. Because she even swung on Consequence. When him and Consequence was beefing, remember she swung on him?
I remember on the show. She did.
Yeah. So I'm like, Tahiri is a live wire, man. And
yeah, she's not totally innocent. And she admitted on Marriage Boot Camp that she has placed herself in situations where, she's provoked men. She admits that.
And she
but then she still does it. So like,
she's like 41.
She is. And Vado's younger than her too. Part of their issues on the show is she treats him like a child. Like she tries to mother him.
Was Vado like 30 something?
Yeah, I think he's in his late
mid-30s.
Mid-30s, like 35, 36, one of those ages.
Yeah.
But
she made a lot of other claims other than the nose being broken that he didn't say wasn't him either. So I mean,
but I'm like, why he not in jail? Why you ain't put his ass in jail? It should be a zero tolerance for all that shit.
All of them. I lied so that the other person didn't have to, go away for a while or anything. Like they always say that they did it to protect the other. Like, because if Joe was saying that she was beating his ass, why didn't he turn her in?
Because it's that stigma with the men.
It don't matter. It don't matter.
You're right. It don't matter, but that is what it is. That is what it is, though.
He claimed it on his radio show a whole 15 years later as well. Like, I used to get my ass beat by a girl.
Right, but he would have never said anything if she never said anything.
If she didn't come out, and I think
he would have never said shit.
I'm like, I need you to pick a battle, sweetheart. When I'm talking about Tahiri, like, if you're gonna be the victim, let's be the victim. But you can't be picking and choosing, provoking men, and then you want to cry when your nose gets broke. and then you want to go on a marriage boot camp show and be like, this is why I can't find love. Like,
yeah, because everybody only tells their side of the story. No one tells the whole story. No one says,
does.
Yo, I did call him a little bitch ass nigga, and then he decided to punch me in my nose. Like, you didn't tell us all that beforehand.
Yeah, and it's funny because it was like a lot of her domestic violence claims was before they went on Love and Hip Hop. So Joe was like, why would you go on Love and Hip Hop with me and pretend, you know, like what sense does that make? Like
we were good.
Yeah, like that's crazy. Like she might be doing it for the clout.
She could have. I mean, like I said, she's on a show right now dealing with the same situation. Like, so it could definitely be for the clout, definitely for the followers, for the sympathy. But I don't feel it.
Like, even if she did beat him up, she's not about to get the same type of repercussions.
She's not. And honestly, they would lock Joe Budden up right now over something that happened years ago before they would lock her up.
Yeah.
You know, that's definitely unfortunate. I mean, definitely the law should change, or the way that the stigma that we have should change. Like, if she's being a man, that we should all feel the same. Yeah, but like at the same time, like I can't dismiss, unfortunately, as a woman for woman, I can't dismiss claims. Unfortunately, we don't know. He may have actually shook her up, but we don't know.
Exactly. But she should have not provoked him too, though. She needs to keep her mouth closed. Like,
that's true too, man. It's definitely a two-way street. We don't know if Joe really did hit her or not. And if he did hit her, he's a bitch ass nigga for that too. He's a bitch ass nigga. I might, somebody give me a flight. I'll go run down on Joe for some money.
Oh
God. Give me that flight. Put that nigga on the podcast. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, domestic violence is something serious. You know, it's scary.
It's not a joke. We're laughing right now, but it's not funny.
It's not.
I'm laughing because my violence towards Joe ain't domestic. If I run down on him.
All right.
Exactly.
But you know, if you're going through something, if you're hurting, you know, hopefully you have somebody that you can reach out to and really tell somebody, and don't stay in that type of situation. Get out of it.
Yeah, nobody should have to live like that.
Exactly. There's so many other ways to be loved than to have someone put their hands on you, talk down to you, all that. Exactly. So many other ways to be loved. So on a higher note, thank you guys so much for joining us on the Blue Room. This was fun. Thank you to my co-hosts, Paco Black, Le Soleil. Y'all are awesome. Before we head out, I just want to remind everyone to like, subscribe, and share the podcast as often as you can, because that is the most important thing. And to follow us, please follow me on Instagram at SoBlueSoTrue. You can follow our podcast page at The Blue Room Official. Go to Facebook, like our page at The Blue Room Podcast, at The Blue Room Official, all those things.
Yeah, and on YouTube, Soul Movement. Subscribe to Soul Movement.
Subscribe to our channel on YouTube. Exactly. And where can they find y'all?
Paco Black, Paco_Black with 2 C's at Instagram.
And I'm at Lay, L-A-Y.Soleil. I'm not going to spell that. It's in French for son.
Boom. Just like that. So thank you guys for joining the Blue Room, and we will see y'all next time. Bye.
Bye.
Peace.